I'm Emily V. Gordon, the producer of the Meltdown with Jonah and Kumail, and I'm here with Jonah Ray and Kumail Nanjiani.
Hi, we're Jonah Ray and Kumail Nanjiani.
Hi.
We're here with the producer of the Meltdown show, Emily V.
Gordon.
Hi. We're here at the Nerd Melt showroom at Meltdown Comics, where we do our live show every single week and where we make our TV show as well. Did people ask you when we first got the series where we were going to do the television show? Did you guys get that
Did
question?
they ask you?
Yeah, a lot.
Did they ask you, Kumail? They asked both of us. Did they ask
both
you
of
that?
us.
No, nobody asked me anything.
They asked us every day.
People try not to engage with me.
It's because it's in your writer.
It's true.
It's hard without eye contact to really like try and talk to someone, but I definitely insist
It's
on that.
crazy that people think you're a nice guy. That's like
Who
probably
thinks
like
I'm a nice guy?
this was one dude I met.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I have a nice social media presence.
That's what it is.
And
I think
some people
your
get
voice is
confused.
very kind.
Yeah.
You do have a kind voice.
But if you listen to the words that it's making,
Horrible things are
Real
coming
bad.
out.
you'll feel bad about yourself.
Yeah. There's one guy on Twitter says like, I like Kumail. He's good people, and
You don't
I
know
said,
him.
and it's weird to respond, to someone's like, give me your email. This is going to take a lot longer than a tweet.
Yeah. I don't have 140
Let me
characters.
slide into your DMs and send you
Let me
like
tell you
5
about
or 6.
the 140 different shades of Kumail's character.
All mean.
What would you say are the archetypes of us on the show?
Archetypes?
Yeah, like what are you the mean one? What, if we were a boy band, which ones would we be?
Oh, no.
I'd be Dairy Spice.
Dairy spice. Okay.
Some spiced up milk?
Yeah. I'm like a boozy, dairy, milky drink at holiday times.
Oh,
Okay.
like a nutmeg-ish.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure. Yeah.
Okay.
What would you be, Kumail?
I don't know. What would I be?
I don't know. What would I be?
I feel like I would be like a drink with an umbrella in it. And I think you would be. What would Emily be?
Don't put this on me.
No, let's figure it out together.
She would be like a very. You'd be the glass. Because she holds it all together.
Holds it all together.
Oh man. Yeah.
That's one of my next question. What do you
Would I-
guys love about me and my job?
Your glass-like tendencies.
Guys, like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
your
very fragile.
characteristic of being able to hold liquid.
Yeah. And sometimes solids. Depends on if the ice has melted.
It
yet.
does
Depends
depend on the
on-
night. Yeah, very much.
And the
depends on
size
that.
of the solid. You can get little balls in there.
That's true.
got a
Yeah,
lot of little balls in
tapioca balls, little boba. Don't talk about balls and high five like you do after sex, probably.
Season 2 is about to happen. How do you guys feel about it?
It feels weird to say that this season's going to be better
Yes.
because it is just still the show. It is still just our show being taped live, but it's good. I think it's even better than the first season.
I think we've gotten better at being able to capture what our show is. So I think this season, the tapings felt more like the real show than they did last season.
Yeah.
Last season was great, but this season it just almost felt just like a regular week of the show. I felt like everybody got a little bit better at just sort
I
of
think-
ignoring the cameras.
Even the audience members, just
Yeah.
because a lot of them that were there for the first season were here for the second season, and they felt, I think, comfortable with the cameras being around too.
And what helped was we sort of put a real onus on having people do like weird stuff this time. We're
Yes.
like, whatever you can't do on any other TV show, do it on our TV show.
I-
So that made it feel like a regular show where
Yep.
people just kind of aren't really worried about their set. They just want to have a
I
good
think
time.
that's the thing that I changed between season 1 and season 2 was in my asks to people initially. I wasn't like, hey, we're going to do a television show. We want you to be part of it. It was like, have you ever done a bit that you've done even once or just thought of doing that you're like, I can never do this on TV. This just exists for now. Well, guess what? We've got the show for you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
people really brought their weird A game this time.
Yeah, no, for sure. Joe Mandy did a really awesome, interesting thing. Andrew Santino did an amazing thing.
And that was it. All the other ones were uninteresting.
Yes. No, but I'm talking about like stuff that just isn't
Yeah.
stand-up.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, a lot of people did like
Paul
Paul
Scheer's,
Scheer
yeah.
And I think Mulaney, I feel like, did a lot of really fun crowd work, which that's always been my dream, to have one comedian just do crowd work for an entire set, which is so terrifying, I think, for them to think about, like, oh, this is going to be on TV, but it turned out great, the ones that did it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like the openings between season 1 and season 2 are a little different for the television show. How did those kind of evolve for you guys? How did you feel about them for season 2?
In the first season, we kind of each told stories, and we would, talk about it and interject each other's stories, but they were sort of like my stories or his stories. This season, we try to do more stuff that we couldn't do on our own. So we try to do more interactive stuff. The bits are a little more, bits that couldn't be solo.
Yeah.
So we just sort of did a lot more stuff that wasn't as planned, but we gave ourselves a structure to like sort of goof around in.
Yeah, we came up with kind of like concepts to play with while on stage, and it was actually a lot more fun. I think just because
think so too, yeah.
when someone's telling a story, it's like there's the bit of ego where you want to jump in with something funny to say, or there's also the respect of just the story being told, where it's like back off, let the story be told. It's an interesting story. And as opposed to this, which is that we don't know, there's no story, we don't know where it's going to go, so we're both more
engaged.
Yeah,
Right?
engaged
and
and
you guys
firing.
kind of collaborated a lot more with just kind of ideas that also the audience could interact with that weren't super long audience stories, which is something we run into. We love our audience, we love their stories, but
There was one guy I remember who was telling us about the make of the truck he was in, and then
Yeah,
he never played in. We were like, "What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, my
Why would you
favorite-
tell us what kind of truck it was?"
My favorite thing was as he continued on with the story, continuing to go back. So, I'm sorry. What was the truck again?
What truck was it?
I think some people, they really want to participate, but I think public speaking is the number one fear, more than death for most people.
Public speaking can't be scarier than dying.
Oh yeah.
Because when we ask people for stories, we have 10 people who want to tell stories.
But if you ask
if
people
we were
who
like,
wants to
who
die
wants
right
to
now?
die right now, nobody would raise their hands. Other than Jonah.
We have a very loyal audience that came. Our tapings sold out within like 3 or 4 hours of us putting them up.
All 8 shows sold out
Yeah.
in a couple of hours.
And that's like 120
Yeah.
people every
Like
single
last
time.
year, they all sold out, but it took a little while.
Yeah.
This year, first day,
Immediately.
they were all gone.
Yeah.
A lot of people didn't realize. A lot of our very hardcore audience members had never seen what happens backstage, or never even seen the backstage area.
Yeah.
You see them peeking in now.
Yeah.
Doors are open, they peek in.
Really?
Want to see what
Yeah.
it looks like? Yeah.
Yeah, they just leering eyes peeking in.
Just peeking in.
Ugh.
Get out
Gonna
of there.
catch us without our clothes on. Oh no.
Yeah.
Get over there.
Like when the Broad City Girls showed up.
Yes.
Yeah, and we were like, hey, do you guys want to go up and introduce the next comedians as us? And they were like, we'll only do it if you guys take your clothes off and we put them on.
Yeah.
And we said, sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And that's what happened.
Which,
They just.
by the way, I would have never done that. I would have literally never done it. I would never have taken my clothes off and let another person put my clothes on during a television show.
That wasn't all of our clothes, not like our underwear and stuff.
It had to be a weird moment. Like, was it uncomfortable for you guys you just got naked on camera?
You know what? The most uncomfortable part for me was not having my glasses.
That's right, because
That's-
Abby took your glasses.
She took
as
my
well.
glasses, and not only can I not see, I just feel like I'm not even myself. If I
Your
don't have my
whole
glasses.
world is
You're
different. when
vulnerable,
you're
Yeah.
wearing your
completely
glasses.
vulnerable. I can't see
Yeah,
anything
like
without-
you have nothing.
You
yeah.
guys both
Yeah.
look so tiny and little and sweet, and you're very big.
Sweet.
I'll take it all.
We're sweet all
I'm
the time.
still flying high off of the fact she said we look tiny. That's the best thing I've heard all day.
But you both look so tiny and cute and vulnerable in your little baby underwear, little baby backstage, just like waiting for these like powerhouse tiny women to like give you your clothes back. That's literally what was happening. You were waiting for these tiny women to give you
Yeah.
your clothes back.
You had some amazing dresses this season.
Oh,
Oh yeah, there's a dress that really pulls focus. What episode is that?
oh,
Episode-
all of them, I think.
Is it 203? There's one where
Yeah.
it's just every time you're on screen, it's the
Yeah,
dress.
I'm
It only
wearing
pulls
a-
focus because she makes us press pause.
And look at them and during editing sessions, that's true. Oh, we do a
Yeah.
little quick rundown, outfit rundown.
Yeah.
I get very excited about getting clothes for the show because I get to wear clothes I never get to wear anywhere else. So I wore a skeleton dress, a glow-in-the-dark skeleton dress.
You wear that all the time.
I do now, baby, but I only
Yeah.
got it because of the show. It's a gorgeous glow-in-the-dark black dress that has skeletons all over it. I also have a similar one that has science equations all over it. I'm not a scientist. I am a bone enthusiast, though, so I will wear the bone.
Yeah, she is. Yeah. Ooh.
Get in there.
Yeah.
Get in there.
Bone enthusiasts.
Yeah.
Talking about your ding-a-ling. Give it up. You're married and you do
I
it.
will say, you're getting further away from having me do that. With every
sorry.
word you say.
I'm sorry. Sup. Sup.
Yeah. Have you guys noticed any changes between season 1, season 2? Any changes after season 1 aired of the live show?
The only thing that's changed is after the first season, there were some people who
The
had
first
never
season
come
of the TV show.
Of the TV show,
Okay.
people had come who had seen the TV show, and then come to the live show for the first time after having watched the TV show. That hadn't happened until
Before
the
we had a
TV
TV
show had
show.
aired, because
Jonah,
before
are you getting
then
this?
there was no TV show to watch and have them then want to come to the live show.
So then how do you factor season 2 into this?
I don't.
He doesn't factor season 2 into that equation whatsoever.
No.
I've noticed that we get a lot of people who are more dressed up when they come because they kind of think they're going to be on camera. That's a thing. We always like attractive audience
People
members.
show up thinking that they're going to be on camera.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Who would you say is our most frequent performer?
You.
That's lovely. But also outside of me.
Steve
Outside.
Agee.
Steve Agee.
Steve Agee
I would
does
think
it
so, yeah.
very often. Pete does it a lot.
Pete
Pete
does
does
it
it
a
a lot.
lot. Pete Holmes.
There was honestly, Aziz has done it many times.
Many
Yeah.
times. And we never know when Aziz is going to do it. I've never booked Aziz. Do you know what I mean? Like, he just
Yeah.
comes.
Yeah.
I couldn't
I think it's Agee.
Feels like AG. I also feel like, who does it a lot? Baron Vaughn does it a lot?
Baron Vaughn does it a lot.
Yeah.
Jared does it every time he's in town.
Yeah.
Moshe Kasher is probably one of our.
Moshe is one of our family members. We have a few, there's
Yeah.
only a few people, very rarely, very, very rarely, you guys are not available to host the live show, neither of you. And if that happens, I have to find a substitute host. And there are very few people I trust with such a monumental task.
Yes.
So few people. So Moshe's one of them, AG's one of them, Baron
Yeah.
Vaughn is one of them.
Yeah, and then there was one time you had TJ do it. And
TJ did it, yeah.
poured
TJ's
water on
done
himself and then
TJ
walked off
poured
stage.
water all over himself before going out on stage, and then to end the show, he had a literal meltdown, like lost his mind on stage, and then stormed out of the back door, and then left the venue.
As a bit.
Completely as a bit. He even texted me and
We
said, that was
think.
great. Yeah.
Yeah.
We haven't
We
seen him since.
think it was a bit.
We had a lot of fun stuff that happened backstage, I would say, this season.
Yeah, there was one time I wore a jacket that Emily had told me I could pull off. And
You can pull it off.
No one was gonna.
You
make
didn't
fun.
believe that you could pull it
There was
off.
a-
It was inside of you all along, Kumail.
The jacket was.
Yeah, that jacket was just inside of your heart. Kumail wore a jacket one night to one of the tapings that became a literal storyline for an episode. We scrapped everything that you guys did on stage because it was so funny for you guys to just talk about this very lovely, but also kind of very stylish, more stylized than you are normally.
It's a denim jacket.
That's waxed.
It was the equivalent of me wearing a tuxedo on
Just-
stage.
Just the sleeves are waxed.
And if I was wearing a
Just
tuxedo, I'm
the-
just like, hey, everything's normal.
Yeah.
This is just me. This is my new outfit.
Yeah,
So
I look
the-
like a He-Man action figure.
Yeah,
just
just-
like.
So every single moment of backstage is just people commenting on Kumail's jacket, Kumail defending his jacket, getting very upset about his jacket.
I haven't worn that jacket since.
Is there any memorable moment that you can think of that we've had backstage that wasn't on the TV show that was just like a fun time or anything
Well, there
like
was the
that?
one time that Mark Maron and Kumail got into a fight, and then it's going to end up being fictionalized on
On
season
Maron.
3 of Maron.
We didn't have a fight. He had a fight at me.
Yeah,
I was uninvolved in this fight.
this is true.
This was my involvement in the fight.
Okay,
That was all I
that
did.
was it. Yeah. We, by the way, I'll just say first off, we're the only stand-up show that I think we've been in at least a couple of different television shows. We are in the
Different
Maron
versions.
show. And also Garfunkel and Oates show, they do a show called The Melt, I think it is.
Yeah,
They go,
all IFC shows.
yeah, all the IFC shows at some point reference us, which is pretty cool. Get on it, Comedy Central. But yes, you guys, after Mark's set, there was a little incident, nothing too huge. We don't want to make it bigger than it was. And then Mark kind of stormed out. I would say one big difference between backstage of the television show and the normal live show is that we're just like normal people, mostly on our phones backstage during the live show. And Jonah
Yeah.
did a really good job during the TV tapings of being like, let's put our phones away and interact with each other like it's 1997.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Better.
it's a lot of people, felt the need. It's like every time you kind of get bored or listless or kind of like lost for a second, you have the impulse to bring out your phone. And if you don't do that, what you do is start a conversation.
You talk
Turns
about your
out,
grandparents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I end up getting into a lot of really intense conversations backstage during our live show, which I did a little bit in the TV show, but then it's really awkward for me because I have to be like, the 8 minutes is up, I have to go. And so I'll be talking to someone about a
Well, you're a
breakup.
therapist. You should be used to that. And our 8 minutes is up. I'll see you next time.
That's a lot
Yeah.
of
I come through the
sessions.
green
Yeah,
room.
you
Thank
should
you
like
so much.
you should be like a Vine therapist. 6 seconds.
Oh, that's actually not a terrible
Yeah.
idea. So we've been doing the show for 5 years. We've had a lot of drop-ins, a lot of weird shit happen. We have had the cops come once. We have had the lights go out.
Oh yeah, that was a fun one.
Yeah, we've had a bunch of different things happen. And now it's kind of weird because we're a bit more established than we used to be, and with that comes like less of that kind of stuff happening.
Yeah, there was one time when the power was out, and they were like, we can call the show, everyone gets their money back, or you can stay and we'll do a show with no lights.
Spotlight. We had one
yeah.
spotlight from a generator.
And it was awesome.
It was pretty magical.
It worked great.
Neil
yeah.
Brennan was on that show. I think DC Pearson. I was looking at pictures from it the other day
Yeah.
because we have a photographer
I
that's
don't think
been with
Jonah
us.
was there.
I wasn't there. I was
You weren't
Great.
there? Oh, that was
No,
a
I was
lovely.
at-
Yeah.
at airport.
Great show. What a great show.
Just the excitement of the power
Just
going
the
out.
excitement of like,
Yeah.
we can do whatever we want. Jonah's not here.
Are there any like drop-ins or anything that you can think of that has been fun for
I
the
was
show?
excited when Dave Chappelle dropped in.
That was really cool.
Yeah, and he did a long set. And
Smoked
did?
on stage.
He smoked on
Whole
stage,
time.
and we were like, you can smoke on stage.
I actually,
Yeah.
I said to him backstage.
Yeah, she went up to him.
I was like, "There's a smoking area out back," and he just looked at me with his head tilted, and I said, "Okay, let me get you an
Yeah, I was
ashtray."
like, Emily, he can smoke here.
Yeah, and it's weird. It's not like he
It
was
was very
upset
nice.
that you.
No, not
but
at
like
all.
it's like he's never heard anyone tell him not to do something.
Well, not in the last few years.
And Judd Apatow has been
Judd
dropping in a
Apatow
ton.
comes
He
by a
drops
lot
in a
these
ton,
days. Yeah,
does
yeah,
a
yeah.
lot of stand-up. He's really good at stand-up.
That's what the craziest thing.
Which sucks.
He's also very, very
It's
good
like,
at
this is
stand-up.
all I can do.
Yeah.
You also make huge
Yeah.
Hollywood blockbuster movies.
Yeah.
And Judd does stand up in a way that only New York comics do stand up, which is that he books 8 shows a night, and he is like, I will be here between this 15-minute period, and I must go on stage immediately because then I must get
Yeah.
in my jet. And then he goes to other shows because he only gets like 1 night a week to do stand up.
You know what the name of his jet is?
Judd Apatow?
Judd Apatow.
You guys, what if we make a movie?
It would start like a regular episode.
Okay.
It would be here. We just on the sign down Sunset Boulevard, through the store. We're starting the show. We're in the middle of just destroying. We're killing.
Killing so
Minute
hard.
32.
Yeah,
We've hit
Really
our
getting
stride.
good.
we've hit our stride. People are laughing so hard.
It's like every week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Exactly.
Sort of
And
every
then
week.
what happens?
All
Also-
the dudes have boners from how funny
Yeah,
they are.
exactly.
Yeah.
And then Aziz does 40.
Who's going to play everybody involved? Now, listen, we're going to go ahead and, of course, you guys are going to play yourselves. We're in talks already. Just in case, though, just in case. Who would play you other than, and who would play me? Who would play Ed?
Well, I have Chris Evans, so Chris Evans is gonna play me.
Chris
Play you?
Evans.
There's just a physical similarity. I mean, we're different people.
Name
but
them off, the physical similarities.
Yeah, like
So similar builds. Mm-hmm. Similar
you guys
facial
build something similarly?
Yeah.
structure. No, just bodies
Oh,
are
okay.
very similar.
All right. I would agree with that, yeah.
Face structure, facial.
The butt chin. He's got it and you don't have it so much.
He doesn't have a butt chin.
He's got a butt chin.
Guys,
Okay.
can you not fight about Chris Evans again?
So probably Chris Evans.
You're gonna go Chris
Just
Evans. Jonah,
similar
who's gonna play you?
vibes.
Well, I mean, you have so many to choose from. It could be anyone from Seth Rogen to Nelson Franklin to Timothy Simmons.
Oh yeah, from
Simon.
Veep.
Simons.
Simon from Veep.
Tim
Yeah.
Simons.
Yeah, but it'll probably in the end be the person I
They all
look the most
passed.
alike. Yeah, yeah. Then none of them. They just
They
like
passed.
they passed because they're like, I can't do that. I'm not a good enough actor. And then one man stood up and said, I can do this because this guy's my hero, and I want to be the one who shows everybody how awesome he is. And that was Ewan McGregor. What's
Scarlett.
yours? Who's yours gonna be?
Scarlett Johansson.
ScarJo.
Yeah. Or.
Great.
And what's fun is you guys can't say anything about how I don't look like her.
Yeah,
Oh.
mainly like it's like we can't really break it down because we've seen misogynist.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
This is when feminism works to my advantage.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ScarJo, Emma Stone. We might even throw in some Gwyneth Paltrow. When she's in those Iron Man movies, we kind of have similar bangs, so I'm gonna go with that.
And John Leguizamo will play Ed Salazar.
Yes.
That I agree with 100%. I think we can all agree on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good casting.
I think so.
We've all cast ourselves now, and obviously we're all gonna get the parts. Who do you think should get a Meltdown spin-off television show?
The Meltdown cricket.
Yeah, it'll be an animated series.
There's
Okay.
a cricket that lives here. Just one.
Yeah.
Very loud.
Yeah.
No.
And if you're not doing well, as Pete said, it's like God is heckling you.
Yeah. But this is like, he's all by himself, so we're going to call it The Last Cricket on Earth. It's going to be voiced by Will Forte.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just gonna spend his time making cricket sounds and shitting into pools.
Great.
I would agree with you. I think the cricket would be a good spin-off. After that, I would go Dave Clark. I think our artist Dave
Artist.
Clark
Yeah.
should maybe get his own TV
He
show.
needs a TV show. He does posters for us every week, and he's been doing it for 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all different, and they're all awesome. And he designed the backdrop for the show and everything. So
I've started naming his posters. So, and this won't make any sense to you, but this week's poster is called Tunnel Kid.
well, we can show it.
When you see it, you'll get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tunnel
Tunnel
Kid.
Kid.
It's right here. Look at Tunnel Kid.
So
Both
what would
those very
Dave's
much.
show be? Just
I
a
think just following him around.
It would be
Yeah.
about sandwiches.
It would be about
sandwich.
chicken
Yeah,
sandwiches.
it's a travel show where he's just going and checking out sandwiches around.
And then every now and then goes to a hockey game.
Yeah. And he eats like a spicy chicken sandwich right before bed, and then he wakes up in the morning and draws what he saw in his nightmares.
Yeah.
I would watch that show every day. I would watch the shit out of that show.
One of the tapings, Amy Schumer dropped in to try out jokes that she was going to do at the MTV Movie Awards.
Where she
'Cause
was hosting, yeah.
She's hosting.
A lot of people do that. Our friends like Anthony Jeselnik will come in to test out jokes.
A lot of people on the roast.
The roast, so Natasha Leggero, Hannibal Buress, Jeff Ross, they'll come in to, you know.
And that's such a fun thing to watch a set when someone's running a set that they were going to do on TV in a little bit, to watch them do it live and then get to see the final product, and you
Yeah.
kind of see. That's my favorite thing about comedy always, is watching as bits evolve.
Yeah.
And you kind of get to see a little bit of that if you're in our audience,
Yeah,
our live
sure.
audience. Are there any comedians left that we haven't had on that you would want to have?
We haven't
on?
had Jerry Seinfeld on. I'd love to.
Mel Brooks,
Chris Rock?
Carl
Chris Rock.
Reiner, which is now he's following you on Twitter, so maybe we can make that happen.
I mean, I have it in. I can just DM him. So, you want me to DM Carl?
Carl. I
Carl
don't know.
who?
Are you
Oh,
allowed to
Carl
call him
Reiner.
Carl if you just are Twitter friends with him? I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think he's still Mr. Reiner to you. Look for season 2 of The Meltdown with Jonah and Kumail on Comedy Central with these motherfuckers.
And that motherfucker.